And Brandy, do you have a history as well that brought you to EFT?
Well, I was kind of piggybacking on Joe because it worked for him. I think the first thing that I ever used it on was I was actually I was having some difficulty with a coworker at the time, and I kept talking to Joe about it. He got sick of me talking about it, so he's like, you really need to tap on that. And we did. We did what they call rounds. We did a couple rounds of tapping, and he's like, well, so how do you feel? I'm like,
2 rounds, about 2 minutes.
And
which is not a long time.
Yeah. No. And he was like, well, tell me, what did you think? I said, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't it doesn't, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. And he's like, no, really. And I'm like,
well, actually, with EFT, those stages you go through. You start out at a high number and you work your way down. So when you get to a certain stage, you go through another process. Well, she just skipped from here to here.
Wow.
I didn't have to do anything else. So.
But it's kind of strange because when it is true, when you're there, you forget where you were. You forget how much it bothered you.
I totally get that.
That's why you have to write it down, how bad you were in the beginning. If you don't write it down, your mind will tell yourself that I wasn't that bad,
But that's how good it works. It's
So
really amazing.
I have to ask you then, what happened with the coworker?
Well, it didn't bother me anymore.
And you
went to work?
Yeah. And EFT is really cool, too, because you can also tap on your reactions, your perceptions, and all of that. So
actually, I told her before we tapped that her vibrations would affect the other person. So when she got there, the other person, her vibrations were down here, were different. So the other person actually was actually like in a good mood and everything. It was totally
amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's hard to explain.
But that's basic metaphysics anyway. We are all a part of everyone and everything. We all mirror each other. What's in you is in me, and vice versa, the good, the bad.
Animals, too.
And animals, too. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. Energetically, we're all really one. A lot of molecules moving at the same rate. So when you change your vibration, it sounds like by tapping, therefore, so does the experience with this other person.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
It's neat. Everybody should try it.
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't be here if I didn't tap on myself, because I'm more introvert. I like to do my own thing, and I don't go out in front of people or things like that. Or I play the flute a lot, and I never played in front of anybody. Not even
me.
Really?
Yeah. So I started tapping on it and stuff, and now it's not a problem.
So for public speaking, for performing.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
That's fantastic. And what type of clientele can use EFT?
Everybody.
Just about anyone. There's a lot of times where you can use EFT for performance, whether it be personal performance, it can be sports performance, it can also be in different areas, as we mentioned, the chronic pain and things like that.
We use it for pre-surgery and after surgery to heal faster. You actually heal 50% faster.
No kidding.
Up to 50%. I even had my own injury, and I wasn't supposed to heal. I had an eye injury, and I actually started tapping before the operation. I felt it healing, and I didn't want it to heal in the wrong spot, so I stopped tapping, and went in, and then I had the surgery, tapped, and I was all done in 2 weeks. Was it that long?
Yeah, they said it would take 6 weeks.
It would take at least 6 weeks, and the doctor, he didn't know what.
The doctor was surprised.
Yeah, yes.
Did you tell him?
No.
Here's my card.
No, because,
Send your patients.
It's a little over. It's over a lot of people's heads.
The way to look at it, because sometimes it just sounds too good to be true. It's
too woo woo.
Yeah, and it's not a miracle cure. It's not a drug that works on everything. It's not a drug at all. It's just your own energy and releasing things so you allow your body to be the best that it can be.
People ask if you have to believe in it, and no, you don't, because what's the placebo effect? They ask that also, and the proof is that you could be in the other room not knowing that I'm tapping on you. Like if you have a headache.
Oh, I was going to ask that.
Yeah, I can
tap
actually.
For somebody.
Other practitioners, you can tap on yourself, surrogate tapping, as them, and their issues will fade away.
Wow.
So that's why you can work on animals. So you don't believe in it. It's not the placebo effect. So we're obviously connected.
And that's what it's all about.
So
We'll be back. It's with more conversation with Joe and Brandy Oliver from the EFT Pro Network. If you're just tuning in, I'm speaking with Joe and Brandy Oliver, who run a professional network for practitioners of emotional freedom techniques and people looking for them. They can be reached at 866-980-1234. Joe's website directly is www.thinkeft.com. Welcome back, Joe and Brandy.
Thank you.
Well, I guess my first question, based on some of the things you were sharing, and already you shared your own personal success stories, and you mentioned something about letting go of glasses. I saw that on your website. I saw a couple of very interesting things that people had talked about. Can you share some EFT success stories with us?
Yeah, sure. In her 70s. She has fibromyalgia. At least that's what they call it. And basically she could barely even walk. She had her knees replaced, both knees. She couldn't sleep at night for more than probably 10 minutes because the pain was so bad, even laying on her back. So I asked her to try it. She's an ex-therapist as well, not EFT, the old school. So we tapped on her knee for about 5 minutes. Her knee pain went away, and she couldn't, even her, she couldn't take it in. She didn't believe it, but yet she walked across the room, and I told her to kick, and she actually kicked up in the air, and then she said, "Get out of here," and she went away. So I left her alone for 2 days, right? And then she came to me about her rest of her pain. We did one session. It went all the way back to her childhood, just writing on her wall that something that happened to her, at a young age, and that's what writing on the wall is things that happen to you, trauma, whatever, people talking as you grow up. And those writings stay there until you do something about it, which that's what this does, is you get to write your own writings on your wall. So one session, all of her pain went away completely. She didn't have pain for 2 weeks straight. She could sleep, everything like that. And then it came back about maybe a 3 level, between a 0 and a 10, 10 being the worst. And she just said she just did one round and went right back to sleep. So, and that was over a year ago or so.
Yeah, I think so.
Or something like that. But that one was fun. But I get a lot of those like that. So.